Senator Smith. Senator Kitching.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. No union is more profound than marriage, for it embodies the highest ideals of love, fidelity, devotion, sacrifice and family. In forming a marital union, two people become something greater than they once were, and it would misunderstand petitioners to say that they disrespect or diminish the idea of marriage in these cases. They are pleased that they do respect it, but they respect it so deeply they seek to find its fulfilment for themselves. They ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law, and the Constitution grants them that right. Their hope is not to be condemned to live in loneliness, excluded from one of civilisation's oldest institutions. They ask for equal dignity in the eyes of the law. The Constitution grants them that right. That quote is part of the judgment of Justice Kennedy of the Supreme Court of the United States in the 2015 decision of Obergefell and Hodges. This decision required the states and territories of the United States of America to legalise same-sex marriage. I've now read the judgment, but you can read the story of this case as told by the petitioner, James Obergefell, in his book, Love Wins. I would recommend this book as it tells a story that the most human and the best part of all of us yearns to hear. That is, that we can love and be loved. Last week, many politicians, leaders of the armed services, public servants and parishioners attended St Christopher's Cathedral in Forest for the ecumenical service to commemorate the commencement of the Parliament for 2017. The reading given by the Leader of the Opposition was a very well-known reading from Corinthians. I had just finished reading James Obergefell's book, and I was struck by the similarity of the sentiments expressed by Mr Obergefell, by Justice Kennedy of the Supreme Court, and by the passage from Corinthian, and I think many would know it, which ends, "And now faith, hope and love abide, these three, and the greatest of these is love." I think many Australians, and indeed many in the GLBTIQ community, have been on a journey. Many Australians always believe that marriage is only between a man and a woman. Of course, there have been many twists and turns on this path, and as Shakespeare recognised, the course of true love never did run smooth. For example, in the 1970s, there were some on the extreme left of politics, including some student organisations, who regarded marriage as prostitution and an institution that should be outlawed, nay, criminalised. Some might say the change in this view of marriage, from that view to the view that there should be the right to marry for all, is a win for those who believe in the institution of marriage. Oftentimes, the conservative side of politics, it seems to me, doesn't always live by conservative values at all. The committee also spent many hours considering the rights of people and what happens when those rights do clash. Now, I say, Acting Deputy President, that it has been put to me that not every Senate committee is so collegiate and so pleasant. I have to tell you at the moment that I don't believe this can be so. I would like to thank the Chair, Senator Fawcett. Senator Fawcett has been unfailingly fair and has been actually an all-round fantastic chair. So I would like to thank him particularly. I would also like to thank Senator Pratt, who is the Deputy Chair, Senators Patterson, Smith, Rice, Kokoschki-Moore. I would also like to thank my family and friends and people I reached out to solicit their views on this issue. And I have to tell you that ranged from everyone from Conservative commentators to Supreme Court justices, to taxi drivers, and to all people in between. This committee worked through some difficult conversations. The balancing of rights, and this has been spoken about by other senators, the acknowledgement and the never forgetting that we live in a diverse and tolerant society where we allow people to believe and advocate in same-sex marriage and to believe in traditional marriage. This committee was determined to acknowledge both sides of the debate, and I think the report reflects that. It is important to note that in our society, we must allow people to express their views, and it is even more important, vital, that people in our society have the right to hold many beliefs. I say that because there was discussion about whether some of the exemptions should be given, and I think the report reflects a balanced view on that. I think we would all accept that rights come with responsibilities, and this debate is often framed in terms of rights, and some of the previous senators have explored those. I want to turn, though, to the other side of the coin, that is, the responsibilities that come with rights. If we accept that committed, loving relationships strengthen our society, then gay and lesbian marriages entered into will also strengthen our society. There was a time when till death do us part meant exactly that. It also means that people celebrate the better times and work through the harder times. And I think that this makes us all better human beings and allows us to live fuller lives. I want to end with a quote from Justice Kennedy in the Obergefell case again. He said that marriage, rising from our most basic human needs, marriage is essential to our most profound hopes and aspirations. This consensus report that the committee has tabled and delivered today, I think reflects that we can now go forward and examine marriage and legislate for marriage so that all Australians may enjoy that institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kitching.